In 2019, the world produced 700 million tons of it. It feeds more than 3.5 billion people across the world. It is considered an essential tool in the fight against world hunger and poverty, and yet it is said to be hurting the planet's health. In this episode of Explained, we put the spotlight on rice. Agriculture has come under the lens for its contributions to climate change for some time now. In our previous video, we told you how unsustainable agricultural practices are hurting the planet. If you haven't seen it yet, click on the link in the top right corner. Agriculture covers 50% of the habitable land. It consumes about 70% of fresh water. And rice is one of the most water-intensive crops we have today. This grass plant with long slender leaves and hollow stem can reach a height of about 4 feet. At the top is an arrangement of flowers called panicles. The rice grain is formed by the ripened ovary of the flower and is between 5 and 12 mm in length. Rice is an annual plant and some farmers harvest this crop multiple times a year. When did rice first appear on Earth? We don't have an answer yet, but a study suggested that rice existed during the dinosaurs' reign. In the fossilized dung of a dinosaur in Maharashtra, scientists found clues indicating these giants feasted on rice. Back then, rice wasn't cultivated for food. Humans began domesticating or growing rice probably about 10,000 years ago. Today, India has about 6,000 varieties. Rice cultivation relies heavily on water, which is supplied either through irrigation or rainfall. On average, a paddy field needs about 2,500 liters of water to produce 1 kg of rough rice. The water demand comes from the practice of submerging rice fields. This helps keep weeds in check. The idea is that water cuts off sunlight and oxygen, without which the weeds cannot propagate. But submerging also boosts the growth of anaerobic bacteria in the soil. Anaerobes dislike oxygen and grow in regions with a limited supply of the gas. In a series of steps, anaerobic bacteria convert sugars from the plant into methane, which then escapes into the atmosphere. Researchers estimate that paddy fields across the world emit about 60 million tons of methane per year. Of this, 2/3 come from India. The reason behind India's high share of methane emission might be high temperatures, large cultivation areas, and the practice of submerging paddies. There's another problem. You must be familiar with stubble burning. It is a practice of removing paddy crop residue before sowing the next crop, wheat. Between 2008 and 2009, the practice released 149.24 million tons of carbon dioxide, over 9 million tons of carbon monoxide, 0.25 million tons of oxides of sulfur, and 0.07 million tons of black carbon, all of which are toxic to the environment and human health. What's concerning is that stubble burning also destroys friendly pests, giving harmful organisms a free hand. These enemy microbes cause diseases in crops. And then we have a bigger problem. By 2035, researchers estimate that the world needs to produce an additional 116 million tons of rice. This means we need to scale up production. So can we meet the needs of the growing population without compromising on our planet's health and depleting our water reserves? Scientists think it is possible. One promising approach is including millets in our diets. You might have eaten jowar or ragi at some point in your lives. These grains are rich in protein, fiber, vitamin, and minerals. If you're into healthy eating and are looking for pocket-friendly superfood options, look no further. Millets have you covered. There's another alternative which comes from the seas. It could provide us with food and fuel. Find out more in our next video. That's a wrap on this episode of Explained. Please don't forget to provide your valuable feedback in the comment section.